Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suba. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, Registrar sets record straight on NFP expenses. PM reaffirms Fiji's commitment to New Zealand. And illegal activities a concern for Maduata province.
From the studios of FBC Suba.
Registrar of Political Parties Mohammad Sanim has revealed that the donations made by National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad were used by the party for general purposes. Sanim clarified that Prasad was not referred to Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption for helping the people as claimed on the NFP's official social media platforms. He says the NFP has left him with no choices but to reveal the poor state of finance management by Professor Prasad and his party. Kritika Kumar reports.
Mohammad Sanim, while setting the record straight, released the list of expenses the NFP and its leader Professor Prasad had made from the party's relief and welfare account.
The party spent $22,736.95 from this account in 2017 through 50 transactions. The first disbursement from the Winston Relief account were on 6 January 2017. This first disbursement was described as pay in the sum of $973.08, this pay being for pay for NFP staff.
Sanim adds out of the 50 transactions, only 6 reflect that they were for cyclone relief efforts in 2017.
Based on the above analysis, from the accounts presented by the NFP, only $2,154.80 out of $22,736.95 was listed for activities related to relief or rebuilding after Winston in 2017. The party used $20,582.15 from the donations it received in the Relief and Welfare Fund for general party activities.
Sanim says it is worrying that money for relief were utilized in purchasing office supplies and paying staff salaries. There is evidence that NFP President Pio Tikonduandua had also received several payments from the account.
In 2017, the total monies paid to him totaled to $3,600. We have no record of what the money was spent on. There is one notation actually, which says that there was a payment made to Honorable Tikonduandua for medical expense, $1,000.
Sanim says the NFP continued to use the relief account, but instead made general deposits and campaign funding from the same. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama says Fiji looks forward to enhancing its bilateral engagements with New Zealand and in advancing regional and global issues of common interest to both countries. He made the comments in his message to New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern for the historic victory in general elections. Bainimarama says Fiji and New Zealand share strong bonds of friendship. He reaffirmed Fiji's commitment to work closely with New Zealand to deepen bilateral relations and strengthen the solidarity of the Blue Pacific continent. The head of the Fijian government said that through the strong leadership of Ardern, the Pacific region will together become stronger and more resilient when overcoming the unprecedented challenges currently faced globally. Health Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wanganembete says they are well within their means to reduce the risk of a community outbreak of leptospirosis and dengue fever as we approach the cyclone season. Dr. Wanganembete says they continue to learn from cases recorded in recent months, promoting the health workers to beef up their community cleanup and awareness campaigns. The ministry earlier confirmed that as of July, over 3,000 dengue fever and 1,000 cases of leptospirosis have been recorded.
Yeah, it never lets down. So I've been talking to the ministry about the fact that, it's been hard on in terms of the work that has had to be done. They've been full on leading up to the measles outbreak at the end of last year. Then we had the cyclones. And then we had COVID-19 all throughout. And then we had Tropical Cyclone Harold. Our teams, we had FEMAT that went around.
Constant poaching in marine protected areas, illegal logging and extraction activity top discussions at the various district meetings in the Maduwata province. Tui Maduwata Ratu William Kotunivere says these concerns are raised at every district and provincial meetings, and a swift response from relevant authorities is needed to solve them. Josena Nunga reports.
The Tui Maduwata says most of these villages depend on the sea and land for their livelihood and are lobbying for illegal activities to stop.
They've been told that there are boats coming as far as Vitilevu to come and poach in their protected areas. This is something that has been raised, and I hope that the Ministry's Department of Fisheries, as well as the concerns from the illegal extractions and illegal logging.
Ratu Williame adds discussions are underway with the Fisheries Ministry to conduct training sessions so that villages can monitor their fishing grounds. He says the Turanganikoro and Matanitikina in the Maduwata province have stepped up.
Thankful to the way things have changed over the years, especially the attendance in the Tikina Council meetings, and the way the Tikina Council meeting has been conducted. I think it has progressed tremendously. I've been in Tikina Council meetings, but this year, my being here, I think there has been a lot of changes, a lot of improvements, I would say.
We have progressed over the years. We are beginning to take advantage of the government's various assistance for community development. The Tui Maduwata attended 2 Tikina meetings this week, and the issues raised or the outcome of these district meetings will be presented at the Provincial Council meeting. Josena Nunga, FBC News.
SAOLO has become the third village in Vanua Levu to launch the Community Sea Cucumber Management Plan. The 4-year plan will help the villages sustainably manage sea cucumbers. The plan is being carried out by the government through the Wildlife Conservation Society. Director Sangita Magubai says by taking this step, the villages are not only thinking about themselves but also the neighboring communities. She says this plan will help secure fisheries resources for future livelihoods and generations.
Your strong desire, your willingness to implement the management plan really demonstrates how important this fishery is in SAOLO and your commitment to making sure that it stays healthy for you.
I greatly appreciate the efforts that have been carried out by NGOs and in this instance your organization in creating awareness within the rural areas and rural settings where government cannot do this work by itself.
The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has compelled companies to rethink their strategies and the way they operate. Southern Security and Fire Protection Services have been in operation for the past 40 years, and this is the first time the business has noted a slowdown. The director says he has noted a 50% decline in sales. Southern Security and Fire Protection Services provide fire safety equipment in the country.
So they're not concentrating that they buy a fire equipment or buy anything which is, out of their way. Just because of this COVID, the people has lost their job. And many people don't have enough money to buy such thing to provide at home to protect.
Fijians are being encouraged to promote Fijian-made products as it will help immensely in economic growth. Minister for Tourism Faiz Koya says it is important to get Fijians to think and buy local. He says the pandemic has shifted the focus of people on a local scale. Koya has also encouraged Fijian businesses to be a little more creative and innovative in how they plan operations. He says we need to be ambassadors of the Fijian brand as it provides opportunities to get brand recognition and just locally but on a global stage for homegrown products.
It is especially important now with wide-ranging disruptions in supply chains that have been caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. During this global pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring the focus back to the essentials. We need to get Fijians thinking local and buying local.
Up ahead, Suva worked hard to defend skipper title.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. The competition in the Skipper Cup has now amped up with only 2 rounds remaining before the semi-finals playoff. The Ramsamy Suva side still leads the points table despite their 10-27 loss to Nitan Siri, who sits in second place. Now the capital side is more determined to defend its Skipper Cup title. Suva manager Nemani Tuifangalele says teams will be vying for a semi-final spot and they must not take any team for granted.
That's still the objective. We have Lotoka next week and Namosi on the last game, so we have to defend the skipper. That's what our intentions are, and it's been very clear from the beginning.
Fiji's top netballers created a hype at the FMF Gymnasium in Suva during the Digicel Punjab's 2020 Netball Reset Championship on Saturday. Teams from around the country are vying for the top 4 spots as this will move them closer to booking a place in the national squad. Digicel Flames opened their campaign on a high note after defeating favourites Punjab Stingrays 65-55. Digicel Flames captain and Fiji Pearl defender Alisi Nangiri is impressed with the progress made by her young side. Festanok hosted a Women in Sport workshop to raise awareness on gender-based violence and its impact on sports on Saturday. More than 30 stakeholders from various sporting bodies took part in the workshop. Festanok President Makarita Lenoa says sport is a catalyst for empowering women and girls but can also help produce tangible results when it comes to gender equity. She also stressed on the importance of basic human rights that all women must practice.
Through education and workshops like these, the members are able to know what is out there, because sport exists in society. So it doesn't mean because it's sport, it's immune to the ills of society. And therefore there is a big responsibility on FASANOC and the member national federation to make sure that every sport participant that comes in is safe.
A heavy rain warning remains in force for Viti Levu, Vanua Levu, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, Yasawa and Mamanuva group. A heavy rain alert remains in force for the rest of the Fiji group. A trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain approaches the group from the west and is expected to affect the Fiji group from later today. That is your FBC News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio, and digital media news. FBCnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Nada go merere te lawa, go ngai tabua, ando talita kana vararonga na Radio Fiji 1 nando mai viti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando mai viti.